give it up for Jesus, You Better Work!
Oh, stop, I hate attention. It is so great to be here on Thursday on 30 at Cobb's Comedy Club. Thank you all so much for coming out and supporting live comedy. And for supporting Bottoms too. Thank you. My name is Jesús, You BettaWork. It is so great to be here in San Francisco, of course, you know, home of the Golden Gate Bridge, Lombard Street, and perhaps the most family-friendly and conservative San Francisco event, the San Francisco Folsom Street Fair. Yes, absolutely. And in case you do not know what the San Francisco Folsom Street Fair is, or are pretending not to know, because some of you are looking familiar being on all fours in late September, the San Francisco Folsom Street Fair, it is the annual event that the leather community celebrates, you know, that celebrate kink, master servant role play, cockball torture, CBT, makes a great icebreaker. Golden showers, yum, I mean, all these great ingredients that just make for a great cake, urinal cake. And I attended the San Francisco Folsom Street Fair. It was fist-delicious. I'm still not able to sit down for more than an hour. That's why I'm very happy that this is stand-up comedy. I know that next year I will knuckle up for safety. And you know, someone like myself here in San Francisco, I have no choice but to come out of the closet because there's been a rent increase and that closet needs to get converted to a live-in studio ASA pronto. $4,000 for 45 square feet, where's the wait list? But of course, I'm a proud member of the one and only LGBTQIA, LMNOPQRSTUV community. Pick a letter and take a seat, we'll be with you shortly, as I always like to point out at the sports bars where occasionally I'll get a comedy set and perform for a predominantly cis male gender heterosexual identified crowd, and they totally get me. And once those guys have had enough drinks, I totally get them, straight up and on the rocks. And I was doing a comedy set at a bar show precisely not too long ago, and of course sitting right smack in front is a straight bro guy, and I couldn't wait to get on the mic and just connect with him. And when I went up on the mic, actually just my mere presence alone made him so uncomfortable to the point where he's sitting right in front of me and he would not even make eye contact with me. I mean, his eyes would look away so fast that smoke came out of them. So of course this is making me uncomfortable, so by the third time he looks away, I'm like, sir, is everything okay? I'm trying to make eye contact with you. He's like, oh, no, man, everything's cool, man, everything's cool. I can play straight sometimes, for the sake of the joke. I was like, do you think you can make direct eye contact with me? You're gonna turn gay or something? That kind of loosened him up, kind of giggle. He's like, oh, no, man, I don't think. I'm like, well, you're wrong. You have now made direct eye contact with me, which means that by the end of my set, you'll be a fierce power bottom. Congratulations and welcome. And that's how gay conversion works here in the Bay Area, according to me. Hey, I like that. We have a bear here, right? Oh, two bears. Oh. The bears are the big, burly, hairy guys in the community. Watch out for bear traps all over North Beach neighborhood, okay? If I had the pleasure of sitting in between these two gentlemen, I would be so tempted to showcase one of my other talents, being ambidextrous. That's a joke. I don't use hands. Come on. And of course, I think I'm the only comic so far in costume. I thought tomorrow was Halloween, San Francisco. Come on. Of course, no. Being in the community, it's actually in my gay contract to wear a costume in October for at least 25 days of the month. Otherwise, I'm cursed with 1 full week of bad bottoming experiences. So it's in the contract, okay? Being a member of the rainbow community, at least in my experience, kind of in relatively recent times, there's big emphasis on terminology, with the purpose of referencing another person as they would like to be referred to as. So preferred pronouns, perfect example. I remember the first time somebody asked me what my preferred pronouns are, I was like, let me just find out what pronouns are again and I'll get back to you. But now that I know, preferred pronouns, do you go by he, do you go by she, do you go by they, or do you go by my preferred pronouns, who, what, when, where, and why, thanks to San Francisco Police Department. Cisgender, as I mentioned a little earlier, that's a newer term that I learned not too long ago, and in case we do not know, cisgender is someone that identifies with the gender that was assigned to them at birth. So for example, I am a cisgender male, because male is the gender assigned to me when I was born, and there have been many males assigned to me since then, but we'll save that for another Thursday on 30, 2020. But I first heard the term cisgender when I was at an LGBTQ plus event. One of the participants came up to me and was like, cis, right? And I was like, excuse me, but I got that surgically removed like 3 months ago. Who told you? This is really embarrassing. I thought this was a safe space. I'm marching over to San Francisco General Hospital right now and demanding to speak with Nurse Hipa. That wasn't that funny. In addition to being a proud member of the rainbow community, I am an equally proud member of the Latinx community. La comunidad Latinx, aquí se habla español. Aplauso, por favor, gracias. And also Latinx, is one of the newer terms. In case you don't know, Latinx, it's for those that don't identify with, in the Latin community that don't necessarily identify with a gender or non-binary, in other words. So Latinx, it's not gender specific to be more inclusive. I first heard the term Latinx just at random, seeing it on flyers for shows, on social media with Latinx. And I was like, is there some kind of fierce collaboration going on between the Latin community and adult entertainment? Latin plus X, I'm all for it. I'm just genuinely curious. In terms of ethnicity, I'm Mexican. They're still here, some in San Francisco. Actually, no, I'll be taking the college train to Redwood City later, but. And one of my favorite Mexican holidays is the one that starts tomorrow, Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos, or as we know it in English, Dia de los Muertos. Where we celebrate and honor our loved ones that have passed on. So, we'll create, for instance, the altar, the altar, and decorate it. So my aunt, for example, who's passed on, will be decorating her altar with her photos, her favorite foods, and lots of people's personal information, because she was the queen of gossip, la reina del chisme. Now available for streaming on the Telemundo app. Well, switching richer gears just a little bit. Being a member of the Latinx community and with family, sometimes with beliefs and so forth, in terms of my family's acceptance of my sexuality has not always been successful bottoming, if you will. There have been some messy moments, and if you did not catch that reference, you're obviously not a catcher, you're much better off in life, believe me. In my experience, it was with my mother specifically. I had a difficult time accepting, that part of the real me. However, I knew that she had finally come around the Brokeback Mountain and accepted who I really am. When I was about 21, 22 years old, so, just like 3 years ago. But she and I were at the supermarket and buying some produce, and I guess the male checker that was assisting us saw what a big delicious piece of produce I am, and pumpkin-licious, and started checking me out as well. The feeling was Washington Mutual, and I was on the chase. And my mom saw us looking at each other, so she quote-unquote whispered, loud enough for him to hear, of coitus, "Why is that guy looking at you like that?" So he heard, got embarrassed, that was the end of that. When I later approached my mother about the incident, I got her from behind in a chokehold, and I was like, damn it, why don't you let me get them, I'm horny. No, I said, Mom, I know you're still getting used to me being gay, it's just a phase. But, he and I were just looking at each other, it was totally innocent, you have nothing to be upset about. And she responded, well, it wasn't him looking at you that upset me, it was that when he was looking at you, I happened to look down and I saw that he had gotten excited down there. I was like, hey, Mom, oh my God, I'm so sorry you had to see that. Why didn't you tell me so I could have seen too? But I reassured her, I said, well, look at it this way. The fact that he was looking at me, and as a result got excited down there, just goes to show that he genuinely found me attractive. You should be flattered by that. Especially because people said that you and I looked alike. And my brother's response to this is what confirmed that she'd accepted me as Jesús, you BettaWork. She said, well, it wasn't him getting excited down there that upset me. It was that it was only like 3 inches of excitement, and 3 inches is not good enough for my gay son. And I said, oh my God, Mom. Have mercy. Make it clap. Hey, I like the leather jacket. That real leather. Oh my God, I'm gonna call Peter right now. Leather. Well, I don't want to, be here the day before Halloween here on Thursday on 30 at Cobb's Comedy Club and not really do it how we do it in the Bay, because I'm also a Bay Area native. I want to thank you all so much for coming out and support live comedy again here at Cobb's Comedy Club. Austin, can we get a sweet, delicious beat to bring these beautiful people home here on a Wednesday?
What's the way you work? Tell me how to shake. I don't do shit. I'm not showing how to shake. Shaka Khan, let me Shaka Khan. Let me get this over on the beat. Shaka Khan, let me Shaka Khan. Let me feel for you. Shaka Khan, what you wanna do? You feel for me, I feel for you. Shaka Khan, let me tell you what I wanna do. I wanna love you, wanna hug you, squeeze you too. Let me take it in my arm, let me feel you with my Shaka. Cause you know that I'm the one that keep you warm. Shaka, I make you feel just a physical dream. Pop Shaka, baby, cause you make me wanna scream. Drop it, drop it, drop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it.
Shake your body, twist your body, wind your body slow. Love your face, love your waist, love your booty and toe. Get out, girl, make it clap, make it push it back.
Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. Do you think you are fierce? How fierce are you?
Swish, swish, swish.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
Click, downtown, goodbye. Yes, on your merry way.
What's my favorite word? Why they gotta say it like short? You know they can't play on my court, can't hang with the big dog, stay on the porch and blow the